Stationary tools located in a detached garage cannot be classified as appliances when performing residential load calculations. This distinction is crucial for accurately determining the necessary service size for the dwelling. The 75% demand factor, which is often applied to appliance loads, is not applicable to these types of tools. The reasoning behind this lies in the intended use and characteristics of stationary tools versus typical appliances. Appliances, as defined in the National Electrical Code, or NEC, typically refer to utilization equipment, generally other than industrial, normally built in standardized sizes or types, which is installed as a unit to perform one or more functions such as clothes washing, air conditioning, food mixing, deep frying, and so forth. Stationary tools, on the other hand, are intended for tasks such as woodworking or metalworking. They are often used intermittently and may draw significant current while in operation, necessitating the consideration as individual loads rather than aggregated with general appliance loads. When calculating the service size for a dwelling with a detached garage containing stationary tools, you must consider each tool's individual load. This involves determining the amperage or wattage of each tool from its nameplate. If the nameplate only provides amperage, you can calculate the wattage using the formula watts equals volts times amps. Ensure that you are using the correct voltage for the tools, which is typically 120 volts or 240 volts for residential applications. After determining the wattage of each tool, sum these values to obtain the total load imposed by the stationary tools. This total must be added to the other calculated loads for the dwelling, such as general lighting, small appliance circuits, laundry circuits, and any other fixed appliances. The NEC provides specific guidelines for calculating these loads. Article 220 covers branch circuit, feeder, and service calculations. For general lighting, a minimum load of 3 volt amps per square foot is required as per NEC section 220.12. For small appliance circuits, which serve kitchen and dining areas, NEC section 220.14, requires a minimum of two 20 ampere circuits, each rated at 1500 volt amps. A single 20 ampere laundry circuit is also required, rated at 1500 volt amps according to NEC section 220.14. Fixed appliances, such as water heaters, dishwashers, and ranges, must be included in the load calculation as well. The nameplate rating of these appliances should be used to determine their individual loads. For ranges, NEC Table 220.55 allows for demand factors to be applied based on the number and rating of the ranges. Air conditioning and heating load should also be included in the calculation. These loads can be determined from the nameplate rating of the equipment or from the manufacturer's specifications. The largest of either the heating or cooling load must be included at 100%, while the smaller load can be omitted or included at a reduced demand factor, depending on local codes. Once all the individual loads have been calculated and summed, the service size can be determined. The service size is typically expressed in amperes, and it represents the minimum current carrying capacity required for the service conductors and overcurrent protection devices. The NEC provides tables that specify the allowable ampacity of conductors based on their size and insulation type. For example, NEC Table 310.16 lists the allowable ampacities of insulated conductors rated up to 600 volts based on an ambient temperature of 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. When selecting conductors, it is important to consider the termination temperature rating of the equipment to which the conductors will be connected. This rating indicates the maximum temperature that the conductor insulation can withstand at the termination point. The conductors must be sized such that their ampacity is equal to or greater than the calculated load in the overcurrent protection device. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect conductors from overload and short-circuit conditions. The overcurrent protection device should be sized to protect the smallest conductor in the circuit. NEC Section 240.4. B provides rules for the protection of conductors against overcurrent. The standard ampere ratings for overcurrent protection devices are specified in NEC Section 240.6. In summary, the stationary tools in a detached garage must be treated as individual loads and included in the overall residential load calculation. They cannot be grouped with general appliances and subjected to the 75% demand factor. Accurate load calculations are essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of the electrical system. This process involves firstly determining the wattage or amperage of each stationary tool, secondly, summing the tool loads with other dwelling loads, and thirdly, selecting appropriate conductor sizes and overcurrent protection devices based on the calculated load. Ignoring this distinction can lead to undersized service equipment, potentially causing overloads, voltage drops, and even electrical fires. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local electrical codes for specific requirements and guidance. It is also advisable to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the electrical system is installed in accordance with all applicable codes and standards. This helps ensure a safe and properly functioning electrical system for the dwelling and detached garage. Furthermore, consider the potential future needs of the detached garage. If there is a possibility of adding more stationary tools or other electrical equipment in the future, it is wise to oversize the service conductors and overcurrent protection devices to accommodate these potential loads. This can prevent the need for costly upgrades in the future. In addition to the NEC, local electrical codes may impose additional requirements or restrictions. It is essential to be familiar with these local codes and to comply with them. Local electrical inspectors are responsible for enforcing these codes and ensuring that electrical installations are safe and code compliant. They can provide guidance and clarification on specific code requirements. When performing electrical work, always prioritize safety. De-energize circuits before working on them and use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and improper installation can lead to serious injury or death. Therefore, it is recommended to seek professional assistance when dealing with electrical installations, especially when it comes to determining service sizes and ensuring compliance with electrical codes. Remember that electrical codes are in place for safety reasons, and it's crucial to adhere to them to protect individuals and property from potential hazards. The proper installation and maintenance of electrical systems are essential for a safe and functional living environment. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer if you have any doubts or questions regarding electrical installations or load calculations. Ignoring the specific requirements for stationary tools in a detached garage can have serious consequences, so ensure that you follow the guidelines outlined in the NEC and local electrical codes. In addition to the electrical load calculation for the stationary tools, consider any other electrical equipment that might be present in the detached garage, such as lighting, receptacles, and heating or cooling systems. These loads must also be included in the overall load calculation for the dwelling. Remember that the goal of the load calculation is to determine the total amount of electrical power that the dwelling is likely to draw at any given time. This information is used to size the service conductors, overcurrent protection devices, and other electrical equipment. An accurate load calculation is essential for ensuring that the electrical system is capable of handling the expected load without overloading or overheating. Overloading can lead to equipment failure, electrical fires, and other hazards. Therefore, it is crucial to take the time to perform a thorough and accurate load calculation. It is also important to consider the diversity of the loads. Diversity refers to the likelihood that all of the loads will be operating at their maximum capacity at the same time. For example, it is unlikely that all of the lighting, appliances, and stationary tools in a dwelling will be operating simultaneously. Therefore, it may be possible to apply demand factors to certain loads to reduce the overall calculated load. Demand factors are multipliers that are applied to the connected load to account for diversity. The NEC provides demand factors for various types of loads. However, it is important to use these demand factors judiciously and to ensure that they are appropriate for the specific application. In the case of stationary tools in a detached garage, it may not be appropriate to apply a demand factor, as these tools may be used simultaneously, especially if the garage is used as a workshop. Consider the potential for future expansion or changes in the electrical load. If there is a possibility of adding more electrical equipment in the future, it is wise to oversize the service conductors and overcurrent protection devices to accommodate these potential loads. This can prevent the need for costly upgrades in the future. It's also important to ensure that the electrical system is properly grounded. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip overcurrent protection devices and prevent electrical shock. The NEC provides specific requirements for grounding electrical systems. These requirements must be followed to ensure the safety of the electrical system. In addition to grounding, it is also important to protect electrical equipment from surges. Surges are brief, high-voltage spikes that can damage or destroy electronic equipment. Surge protection devices can be installed to protect electrical equipment from surges. The NEC provides recommendations for surge protection. Remember that electrical codes and standards are constantly evolving. It is important to stay up to date on the latest requirements to ensure that electrical installations are safe and code compliant. Continuing education and professional development are essential for electricians and other electrical professionals. By following these guidelines and consulting with qualified professionals, you can ensure that the electrical system in your dwelling and detached garage is safe, reliable, and code compliant. The proper sizing of the electrical service is essential for meeting the electrical demands of the dwelling while also ensuring safety and preventing potential hazards. Failing to properly calculate the load and size the service accordingly can have serious consequences, including equipment damage, electrical fires, and even personal injury. Therefore, it is crucial to take the time to perform a thorough and accurate load calculation and to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer if you have any doubts or questions. Furthermore, it's important to maintain the electrical system in good working order. Regular inspections and maintenance can help to identify potential problems before they become serious. This can include checking for loose connections, damaged wiring, and other signs of wear and tear. Addressing these issues promptly can help to prevent electrical hazards and extend the life of the electrical system. Remember that electricity is a powerful force that can be dangerous if not handled properly. Always exercise caution when working with electricity and follow all safety precautions. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. By taking these steps, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system in your dwelling and detached garage. The information provided in this narration is for general informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. Electrical codes and standards vary depending on location, and it is essential to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations.